Let's begin our class by finding a comfortable position. You could choose to be seated or you could lay down. Finding a position that feels comfortable and grounded for you. Allowing yourself to connect a little bit more deeply with whatever is supporting you from beneath. At each place where your body touches down on the ground, allowing yourself to find some softness, find a deeper sense of connection. If you are laying down, noticing those connections all along the back of the body. And if you are seated, noticing those connections beneath the hips and the legs. Also noticing where your hands are. Allowing your hands to feel supported so that your arms can hang heavy. Allow the shoulder blades to draw together to open a bit more through the chest. And then once you feel settled, we'll turn our awareness inwards. Maybe closing the eyes if that's comfortable, or letting the gaze soften. And we'll turn our attention to our breathing. Noticing how your body feels as you breathe in and how it feels as you breathe out. Noticing what parts of the body move as you breathe. And then if it's comfortable for you, we'll start to direct the breath a little bit. With your next inhale, drawing the breath a little bit more deeply into the body. Allowing that air to travel down the back of the throat, filling up the lungs, and then allowing the belly to rise. And as we exhale, going the opposite direction, letting the belly soften, feeling the air travel back up and out. Really taking your time. Allowing each inhale to fill you up completely. And each exhale to bring you a sense of softening. And looking for a comfortable rhythm of breath. So if you notice after a few breaths you feel that you're forcing it, make it a little bit more gentle. Finding a slow, steady, and comfortable rhythm of breath. And once you've found that, we'll start to blink our eyes open, turning our attention outwards once again. We'll invite some small movement into the fingers and toes, gently wiggling them. We'll circle through wrists and ankles and maybe turn the head from side to side. And bringing the body back to stillness. If you are laying on your back, taking a moment to draw your knees into your chest and roll over onto one side of the body or the other. We'll pause for a moment there, adjusting to the new shape. And then slowly we'll make our way up to a seated position. So you can choose to sit on the ground, or you can sit on some kind of a prop or a piece of furniture if you'd rather. We'll ground equally through both sides, so moving the flesh of the glutes out of the way so the sitting bones can connect with the ground or with your prop. We'll sit up tall and lengthen up through the crown of the head. From here, let's draw the shoulder back towards the ears, and then squeeze and draw the shoulder blades down back. As you inhale, lifting up, and as you exhale, squeezing and lowering. Taking your time. Allowing your movement to match with your breath. And focusing on the sensation between the shoulder blades. Bring it back to stillness, and then we'll change directions. Inhaling to lift up, and then exhaling, rolling the shoulders forward, spreading the shoulder blades nice and wide. And let's bring those shoulders back to stillness. And from here, we'll inhale, reaching both hands up. When they reach the top, we'll interlace the fingers, turn the palms up, and then draw the hands down in front of the body. Feeling a stretch through the palms, maybe through the wrists. Releasing at the bottom, and then inhaling, sweeping the arms out to the sides and up again. Interlacing fingers at the top, pressing the palms out, and then drawing the hands down as you exhale. Finding your own rhythm here. Using your inhale to take those arms up. And exhale to draw them down in front of the body. Taking your time. And again, focusing on the sensation that you feel with this movement, whether it's through your hands, your wrists, your arms, your shoulders, maybe even through your neck or your back. And when we reach the bottom, let's release the arms at the sides. We'll pause for a moment and check in. Breathing in and breathing out. And then let's make our way up into our tabletop position. Moving any props out of the way, we'll come onto our hands and our knees. Allowing our wrists to stack under our shoulders, knees under hips. We'll spread our fingers nice and wide, pressing the tips of the fingers down into the floor. And we'll press the floor away to spread the shoulder blades, finding a neutral spine. Toes can be flat on the floor or they can be tucked under, whatever you prefer. And we'll move through a few rounds of cat and cow. As we inhale, dropping the belly, drawing shoulders back and looking forward. And as we exhale, rounding the spine, spreading shoulders and lifting back to the knees. We'll inhale, lengthening the front of the body, looking forward. And exhale, lengthening the back of the body, looking back to the knees. Once again, moving at your own pace, finding a rhythm that works for you. Allowing the movements to be bigger or smaller depending on what your body needs right now. Do one more complete round. Inhale and exhale. And we'll meet back in tabletop. Our tabletop, let's take our knees a little bit wider apart. Not quite as wide as the mat, but as wide as the outer hips at least. We'll keep our arms as straight as we can. Keep our hips lifted and we'll start to walk our hands out in front of the body, coming into extended puppy pose. Allowing the tailbone to draw up and back as the fingertips reach forward. As we inhale, we'll lengthen those fingertips away from the tailbone, and as we exhale, we'll soften the chest and forehead down towards the mat, lengthening the front of the body. Breathing in to reach and lengthen, and breathing out to soften. And take one more inhale and exhale here, really reaching, lengthening, and then softening. And then we'll come all the way back up, walking hands back up towards the body. Let's take a low lunge. We'll start by stepping the right foot up in between the hands. We'll stack the right knee over the right ankle, toes point forwards. And then we'll come up light on our fingertips, resting our hand on top of our right thigh. What we're going to look for here is a stretch along the front of the left hip. So if you're already feeling it where you are, you can stay there. If you don't feel it just yet, we'll start by tucking the tailbone down and forward and then pressing the left hip forwards. So that tends to change the shape of the pose. Usually that makes it feel a little bit deeper. Pausing there and checking in. And if you're still not feeling it, you can start to inch your right foot forward. Each time you move your foot forward, stacking your knee and pressing that left hip ahead. Once you find the place that is a good amount of stretch for you without being too intense, that's where we'll pause. You can leave your hands on your hips or on your thigh for support. Or if you'd like, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart or extend them up overhead, reaching for the ceiling, lengthening up, and then maybe even taking a slight back bend, gazing upwards. Keep the left glutes engaged. Keep pressing down into the left foot. Breathe in to lengthen up and breathe out to soften down and forward with the hips. Good, let's release. We'll bring the hands all the way back down onto the floor. We'll step the right foot back. Take a moment to shift the hips side to side. And then we'll come back to center and we'll do the other one, stepping the left foot through, stacking left knee over left ankle, toes point forwards. We'll get a little bit lighter on our fingertips and start to raise up the upper body, bringing hands to rest on top of the left thigh. Again, here we're going to look for a stretch along the front of the right hip this time. So we'll start there, checking in, noticing how you feel. If you're already feeling a stretch, staying as you are. If you don't feel it, first adjusting the position of your pelvis, lengthening tailbone down and back, scooping it forward, and then pressing into the right hip. So you can choose to stay there, or again, if you still need to adjust to go deeper, you can inch the left foot forward, stacking the left knee over the left ankle. Once you find that spot where you're at your edge, that's where you'll pause. You can rest your hands on your thigh or on your hips. You can choose to bring your hands together in front of your heart, or you can extend your arms up overhead. And wherever you are, anchor down through the right foot. Let those right glutes be a little bit more active. As we inhale, we'll lengthen the spine. As we exhale, we'll press forward and soften down. If you are reaching up, you might choose to look up, taking a little bit of a back bend. And then we'll release those hands back down. We'll come all the way back to our tabletop, stepping the left foot back to meet the right. From here, let's walk the hands up towards the body. We'll come into an upright position. Hips over knees and shoulders over hips. Let's bring our hands to our low back. So the fingertips are pointing down. Palms are pressing into the sacrum. We'll draw our elbows together and soften shoulders down. And from here, we'll inhale, lifting up through the chest. Imagine gaining a little bit more height, reaching up, and start hips forward ever so gently. As we inhale, lengthen up. As we exhale, we'll press forward. Now, if you're comfortable in your balance and you'd like to lift your gaze up towards the ceiling, you can do that. Keep drawing your elbows towards one another. With each inhale, lengthen up through the chest. And with each exhale, maybe press those hips a little further forward. Try to keep control of your neck. So rather than dropping your head back, keep your gaze focused up, but a little bit forward. We'll take one more inhale. And then we'll exhale to release, coming out of the pose and making our way back into our tabletop. From here, let's step back into downward facing dog, tucking the toes under, pressing the heels back, lifting hips up and back, and then pressing the floor away with the hands. You can have your knees bent. You can even bend alternating knees, walking the dog. And then we'll start slowly to walk those feet up towards the top of the mat, making our way to our forward fold, Uttanasana. Allowing the feet to be about hip distance apart or maybe a little closer. We'll let the knees bend so that the belly can rest on the thighs and the upper body can hang heavy. Take a moment to nod the head or shake the head, releasing any tension from the neck. And you can choose to leave your arms extending down, or you could hold on to opposite elbows or even wrap your arms around the backs of your legs if that's comfortable. Breathing in, feeling the back of the body fill up with air, feeling the rib cage expanding. Breathing out, rooting down through the feet, getting heavier through the upper body. From here, as we inhale, let's lengthen the legs. We'll lengthen the spine. We'll bring the hands to rest on the shins or above the knees, so the spine is parallel with the ground. We'll lengthen the crown away from the tailbone. And then as we exhale, we'll bend the knees and fold once again. Let's inhale, bending the knees even deeper. We'll sweep the hands out to the sides, coming all the way up to standing, letting the palms meet up overhead. And then we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. As we inhale, let's reach both hands up. Maybe allow the palms to touch. You could gaze up at the ceiling, taking a back bend. And then we'll bend the knees and exhale, folding forward. Inhale for half back, straightening the legs, straightening the spine. And exhale to fold, planting the hands. We'll step back to downward facing dog. From here, as we inhale, we'll bend the knees, looking forward. As we exhale, we'll walk or step to the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, come all the way up. Reach those arms up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, walking or stepping to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Again, let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, we'll plant the hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, let's bend the knees, looking forward. Exhaling, we'll walk or step to the top of the mat. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Reaching those arms up, maybe taking the back bend. And exhaling, hands down to heart center. Let's pause for a moment in our mountain pose. Once again, allowing feet to be about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit closer. We'll root down through both feet, especially through the ball of the foot and the heel. And then we'll lengthen up through the crown of the head. Start to find some engagement through the legs, maybe feeling your kneecaps lifting, maybe feeling your glutes turning on. We'll loop the shoulders up, back, and down, extend the arms out at the sides. You can have your palms facing your body or up towards the front, whatever's more comfortable for you. We'll find a little bit of energy through the hands and arms, either by spreading the fingers wide or drawing them together. As we inhale, we'll lengthen up, and as we exhale, root down, find grounding. Making the mountain pose pretty active, feeling strong and tall and steady. And from here, let's inhale, reaching both hands up. As we exhale, bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, we'll plant the hands. We'll step the right foot back, dropping the knee down, untucking the toes. We'll have our left knee stacking over left ankle. We'll get heavier through those right toes so that the right leg becomes more active, more engaged. And then we'll inhale, reaching both arms up overhead, coming into a low lunge. Again, pressing hips forward and down, anchoring through the back leg, reaching up, maybe looking up. And then we'll exhale, drop the hands down. We'll tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, and step back to downward facing dog. From here, we'll inhale, lifting the right foot up behind us. Option to leave that leg on the ground. We'll exhale, stepping the right foot through. Stacking knee over ankle, we'll drop the left knee and tuck the left toes. As we inhale, let's reach both hands up, rooting down through the left foot and left knee. And exhaling, we'll drop those hands down, tucking the toes under, stepping forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach those arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Inhaling, we'll lengthen up. Exhaling, we'll bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to full plant the hands, step the left foot back, drop the knee and tuck the toes. We'll inhale up, low lunge. Exhale, drop the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, option to lift the left foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll step that left foot through, drop the knee, untuck the toes. We'll inhale, rising up. Exhale, release the hands down, step forward, forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, planting the hands, starting with the right foot, stepping back, dropping the knee and tucking the toes. We'll inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, planting the hands, we'll step back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, option to lift the right foot up behind you. Exhaling, stepping that right foot through. Let's drop the left knee and tuck the left toes. We'll inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, planting the hands, stepping forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Other side, we'll inhale, reaching. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, planting hands, stepping left foot back, dropping knee and tucking toes. We'll inhale, lifting, crescent lunge. Exhaling, dropping the hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, option to lift the left foot. Exhaling, stepping that left foot through. Drop the right knee and tuck the right toes. And then inhale, lift up. Exhaling, dropping the hands, stepping forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Let's pause again in our mountain pose. Taking a moment to ground through the feet. Find that engagement through the legs. Broaden the collar. Find energy through the arms. Lengthen up through the crown and root down through the feet. And take a moment to scan through the body. Noticing any sensation that you feel through your legs, your hips, the muscles of the back, muscles along the front of the body. Just taking a moment to pause, to check in. If your breath is sped up, slowing it back down. Finding that same slow, steady rhythm you established at the beginning of class. From here, let's inhale, reaching both hands up. We'll exhale, bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, we'll plant the hands. We'll step the right foot back. Keep the right knee up. Right toes point forwards, right heel presses back. Back leg is really active. Get heavier through the right foot, lighter through the fingertips. And then inhale, rise all the way up, high lunge. Let's exhale, drop the hands down. We'll step the left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. As we inhale, option to lift the right foot. As we exhale, stepping that right foot through. Right knee stacks over right ankle. Left heel presses back. Left leg is strong. Left foot is heavy. We'll get lighter on the fingertips and inhale, reaching all the way up. Again, you have the option here to take the back bend, looking up if you want to. As we exhale, we'll drop the hands and step forward. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up. Reach up. Look up. Exhale, hands down to heart. We'll do the other side, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, folding. Let's step the left foot back behind us. Get lighter on the fingertips. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step back. Inhale, left foot lifts. Exhale, left foot steps forward. We'll inhale, reaching up. Exhale, drop the hands, step forward, forward fold. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, lifting all the way up, reaching those arms up overhead. And exhaling, hands down to heart center. Let's inhale, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, we'll plant the hands, step the right foot back behind us. Let's inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop the hands, step back, downward facing dog. From here, let's inhale, lifting right foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll bend that right knee and bring it forward to the right elbow. Let's inhale, pressing back, lifting right leg behind us. Exhale, bring that right knee forward. Inhale, lift up and back. Exhale, right knee forward. This time we'll bring the right toes to the back of the left wrist. We'll lay that right knee down on the floor. Drop the left knee and untuck the left toes. If it's available, you can slide your left leg a little bit further back. And we'll settle into a pigeon pose. So you can stay more upright, or if you want to, you can come down onto your elbows. If it's uncomfortable to rest in full pigeon, you can also roll over onto your right hip and draw your left knee further forward, coming into deer pose. We'll breathe into that outer right hip. Breathe out to soften. We'll take 2 more slow, steady breaths here. And then we'll plant the hands. If the left knee slid back, we'll slide it forward. We'll tuck the toes and we'll step back, downward facing dog, reaching that right foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll step through, coming into a high lunge. Let's exhale, drop the hands and step forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Do the other side, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands. We'll step the left foot back behind us. Let's inhale, rising up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, let's lift the left foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll draw that left knee to left elbow. Inhaling, reaching back. Exhaling, drawing forward, knee to elbow. Again, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, knee to elbow. And last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, bring that knee to the left wrist. Left toes kick out towards the right wrist. We'll drop the right knee and tuck the right toes. And then maybe slide that right knee a little bit further back. Again, option here to roll over onto left hip, draw right knee forward if the full pigeon's uncomfortable. You can either stay up on your hands or you can come down onto your elbows. We'll breathe slow and steady. Allowing the hips to settle down and back. Feeling the whole rib cage expand to all 4 sides of the body as you breathe in. And find some softness as you breathe out. 2 more full breaths here. And then we'll plant the hands. Slide the left knee forward, right knee forward, tuck those right toes. We'll lift back, downward facing dog. Lift that left foot behind you. And then step that left foot through. We'll inhale, coming up, high lunge. Exhale, drop the hands and step forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's pause and find our mountain pose. A nice active mountain pose, rooting down through both feet. Lengthening up through the crown of the head. Finding energy through the legs, energy through the arms. And then somewhere in front of us, we'll find a focal point, something to look at that's not moving, something to focus our gaze on. It's known as Dristi. Once you've found that object that's not moving to look at, we'll slow our breath, bring hands onto our hips, and we'll start to shift our weight over onto the left foot, bending slightly through the left knee. We'll get lighter on the right toes, sliding those right toes back behind us just a little bit until just the toes are touching down. This might be where you stay. You can stay here and focus on balancing if that's what you need this morning. If you need the assistance of a wall or a piece of furniture, you can also hold on to something for support. If you'd like to take this another step further, you can release your right hand down at your side and then reach for your right ankle, lifting that right foot up off the floor. If you notice your right knee open to the side when you did that, draw it back in so it's right beside the left knee. Feel your shoulder blades draw together on your back as you open through the chest. And breathe into the right hip. So you can press the right hip forward to deepen that stretch just as we did in our lunges today. You can choose to stay as you are, or if you'd like again to take it one step further, you can extend your left arm up overhead. And then at the same rate, press your right foot back into your right hand and lean forward. So as you're pressing back, your right knee stays on that same line of movement. It's not swinging out to the side, it's directly in line. As we breathe in, we'll reach right foot away from left hand. As we breathe out, maybe fold forward a little bit further. Good, we'll release. Coming back to standing, let's roll through ankles, roll through wrists. We'll find our mountain pose, taking a moment to pause, to ground down, find some stability, find your drishti, slow your breathing. Bring our hands onto our hips and we'll start to shift our weight into the right foot, bending a little bit through the right knee for stability. And then starting to get lighter on the left foot, sliding the left foot back until just the toes are touching down. Maybe choosing to stay here. Or maybe releasing the left hand down and reaching for the outer left ankle. Drawing the left knee back to be in line with the right knee. And pressing the left hip forward, rooting down through the right foot. Drawing the shoulders together and back, opening through the left side of the chest. Maybe staying here, maybe releasing the right arm up. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, start to reach your right hand forward as you press your left foot back. As you inhale, keep reaching, and as you exhale, lean forward. Allow your gaze to stay focused, your breath to stay steady. And take 2 more breaths. And then we'll release. Taking a moment to roll through wrists, roll through ankles. We'll step back to the top of the mat. From our mountain pose, we'll inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees, will fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, planting the hands, we'll step the right foot back behind us. Let's inhale, rising up. Exhaling, we'll plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting that right foot up behind us. Exhaling, we'll move forward into pigeon. Right knee to right wrist, right foot to left wrist. Drop the left knee, slide the left knee back. An option to move into deer pose if you prefer. This time we'll stay upright. So getting a little bit lighter through the fingertips. Lengthening out through the arms, looking either straight ahead or slightly down towards the ground. You can stay as you are, or if you feel like you want to take this one step further and you're not feeling too much pressure on the left hip, you can bend your left knee and reach your left hand back for your left foot, just like we did in our dancer pose just a moment ago. Using your right hand for balance. Breathing in, lengthening the spine, breathing out, softening hips down and back. Keeping hips and shoulders squaring towards the front of the room. And allowing the opening to occur through the left hip and left shoulder. One more inhale. And then we'll exhale to release. We'll tuck those left toes under and step back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. And then we'll exhale, step that right foot through. Let's inhale, high lunge. Exhale, drop the hands, step forward, forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, we'll bend the knees and fold. So inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, we'll plant the hands, we'll step the left foot back behind us. Inhaling, lifting all the way up. Exhaling, we'll drop the hands, step back, downward facing dog. So inhale, lifting the left foot up. As we exhale, we'll move forward into pigeon, drawing left knee to left elbow, left toes to right wrist. Untuck the right toes, slide the right knee back. And again, here we'll stay more upright this time. Option to roll over onto the left hip, draw the right knee forward if you prefer deer pose. We'll get a little bit lighter on our hands as we get heavier through the legs. Soften the shoulders. Find a slow, steady breath. You can choose to stay here, or you can start to bend through the right knee and reach back for the right ankle. Again, only if it's comfortable for you. Paying special attention to the front of the right hip, to the knee, and to that shoulder. Keep hips and shoulders facing forward. Gaze is forward. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out to soften. One more complete inhale and exhale. And then we'll release, bringing the hands back down to the ground. We'll tuck those right toes under. Step back to downward facing dog, lifting that left foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll step the left foot through. Let's inhale up for high lunge. Exhale down, step forward. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach up, last time. And exhale, hands down to heart center. From here, we'll find our way down to seated position on the mat. If you'd like to come down through Malasana low squat, we'll take our feet mat distance apart. Let the toes rock open to the sides. We'll draw the shoulders back, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we'll bend through the knees, sinking hips down and back, coming all the way down. If for any reason Malasana is not comfortable for you, and you would prefer to come straight down to seated, you can do that as well. If you are resting in Malasana, you can adjust the distance between your feet to find something comfortable, so ball of the foot and heel are connected with the ground. Lengthen down through the tailbone, up through the crown of the head, press the knees apart. And then we'll release the hands back behind us, come to sit on the ground, and extend our feet up in front. Let's take a moment to bend through knees and bend through ankles. We'll keep the left leg straight. We'll bend the right knee and step the right foot just outside of the left knee. Let's wrap the left arm around the right leg and plant the right hand back behind us. As we inhale, we'll press into that right hand. Keep the left ankle flexed. Press out through the left heel. And as we exhale, let's draw the right shoulder back, opening towards the right side, maybe allowing your gaze to drift back over your right shoulder. As we inhale, we'll lift up. And as we exhale, soften, twist. And let's inhale to release, coming all the way back. This time we'll wrap the right elbow around the right knee. We'll pick up the right foot and nestle it just inside of the left elbow. If this is not comfortable for you, another option is to take your right heel and place it just outside of your left hip, finding a gentle stretch through the outer right hip. If you are proceeding with the rocking of the baby, again, nestling your heel inside of your left elbow, flexing that ankle. Important to draw the toes back towards the shin. You can interlace your fingers if that's available. And we'll draw that leg in towards the body, still continuing to sit up tall, continuing to flex with the left ankle. You can stay in stillness or you can rock gently from side to side. Again, being mindful of any sensation in your right hip. Breathing steady and slow. And we'll come back to stillness and we'll release, allowing that right leg to extend out beside the left. And from here, we'll bend the left knee, planting the left foot just outside of the right leg. We'll wrap the right elbow around left knee. Left hand comes back behind us. As we inhale, we'll press into the hand and lift up tall. Keep that right ankle flexing. As we exhale, we'll draw the left shoulder back, looking over the left shoulder if it's comfortable for your neck. Breathe in to lift up and breathe out, soften and twist. Let's inhale, unwinding, coming back to center. For the next pose, again, two options. More gentle variation is to take the left heel back towards the right hip. And left stack over right knee. If you'd like to take the rocking the baby variation, we'll lift the left foot off the floor. Nestle the left heel inside of the right elbow. Flex at the ankle, that's very important. We'll wrap the left elbow around the left knee, interlacing the fingers at center. From here, we'll draw that leg in towards the body, bringing the shin close to parallel with the ground or the ceiling, as far as it's comfortable for you. And then you can either stay in stillness, focusing on lengthening up, rooting down, or if you'd like, you can rock gently from side to side, being mindful of your left hip especially. If you feel anything too intense in that left hip, remembering to take it down a notch, take a more gentle variation. And bringing it back to stillness. Let's release and we'll extend that left leg out in front of us. Take a moment again to bend through knees, bend through ankles. And then we'll come to find a seated meditation. If you would prefer a reclined position, like Shavasana, you're welcome to that as well. Allowing yourself to find a position that feels comfortable and supported, that allows you to feel grounded and connected with the earth beneath you. Taking a moment to find whatever shape is going to work for you today. And then maybe closing your eyes. And taking a moment to scan through the body. Noticing any areas where you might be holding tension or tightness still. Almost imagine them softening. Helps to notice the connection to the ground that's closest by to that area. And give yourself permission to accept that support from beneath. Giving yourself permission to rest. If you have been controlling your breath, we'll even let that go. Allowing your breathing to return to its own comfortable, natural rhythm. And if you start to notice your mind wandering off, guiding it back to the present moment, back to the feeling of your breath, the feeling of your body. Using those indicators to anchor yourself in the here and the now. Giving yourself time to just be here. Gradually allowing the body to soften further, releasing your jaw, Letting your shoulders get heavier. Softening a little bit with each breath out. And we'll start to invite some movement back into the body, gently wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, circling wrists, and turning the head from side to side. If you are reclined, you can also roll through your ankles. Noticing how each of these movements feels for you. And then we'll bring the body back to stillness. If you are laying on your back, taking a moment to draw your knees into your chest and roll over onto one side of the body. Pausing for a moment, and then we'll meet in a seated position, choosing whatever seated position you prefer. Allowing yourself to ground through both sides of the body. Sit up tall and bring hands together in front of the heart, sealing the outer edges of the palms and the tips of the fingers in Anjali Mudra. From the light that shines within me to the light that shines within you. Namaste.